page and vote for your favorite team. Here we are on Volskaya. I believe the overlay is all set. Yep, we've got Borealis on defense, Jaboy, Hellfrank, Baloo, Serafsan, Fairley, and Venesui, is how I'm trying to say that name. I actually took French in high school. It's still kind of tough to say, but...
I'm just seeing it as like Ratatouille,
right,
know?
Exactly.
One of the greatest movies, if not the greatest movie of all time.
Really? You
so
think that highly?
I feel like you got it right. I actually have never seen it before.
Well, you're actually correct. It is the best movie of all time. So that settles that debate. IDDQT, Mixie, Quake, Annie on Fire, Surly Sheep, and Taki, or Tachi on the attacking side. Annie on Fire was definitely a player to watch on the Alias map that we watched, so I'll go ahead and take her perspective to start us off. Surly Sheep, as the Pharah, also had many, many good Pharah plays and barrages, but there is a defensive bastion. Venesui already watching the skies.
But here's the thing. I mean, the way that they're employing this is with the Reinhardt rather on that barrier duty, and what that means is that that barrier is not going to be able to regenerate as easily as something like, you know, a barrier that's going to come out from Orisa. So as they do put pressure out, Sarasan's going to have to fall off, and they're going to have to give up that position that they have, and that's exactly what's happening right here, where they're pushing that Bastion off, and Sarasan's left to fend for himself.
Yeah, no mercy, no win at this point. Baloo got reset all the way back to spawn as well. Bastion does manage to grab a kill before going down, but that's going to be the Sailor Scouts stomping all over point A. Only took them a minute to do so, so I'm not even sure if they lost anybody. Did you happen to see any attacker deaths there?
Yeah, they did lose the Mercy. Quake had to come back from respawn there, so they did lose the Mercy, but still not... I mean, while it is a bad person to lose, they still were able to hold through and just be very, very aggressive. Again, that composition, just holding out with the Bastion, isn't exactly the best, I would say.
Well, as long as you've got the momentum, anything can happen. They're stomping right on to point B as well. Taki getting very close to the Winston ult. Might be able to help smack him around. Reaper's trying to get in there to shut him down. Oh, he does go down. Taki goes down before the Winston ult can be used. Nice for the attackers still, though, making lots of, actually no capture progress, but still fighting for it at least. Reaper does have a Death Blossom now, though, and without that D.Va suit in his face, he does get a lot of damage out.
Oh, the res coming out. That's going to pick up the D.Va, and D.Va doesn't have the mech, though. Look at IDDQT just barreling through huge kills. They actually stopped the hammer down that was coming out from Sarasan. That's a huge pickup. Now 6 minutes the time.
Wow.
As they actually secure it.
That was insane. That was very impressive. 6 minutes left on the clock for extra rounds, if it even comes to it. Sailor Scouts
looks a lot like Ilios, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
it looks a lot like Ilios.
They were dominant in their first game. We saw them, and I believe Borealis were on the defeated side of our match right after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this again could be a little bit lopsided. We do have at least one GM player on Sailor Scouts, and I've read that a lot of our competitors today are Plat and Diamond Masters, kind of the top end for most of these teams. So, but we did see Do Aimbot's Dream of Electric Sheep. So these, you know, Sailor Scouts and Do Aimbot's Dream, both some impressive performances. This is definitely not a runaway event for anybody. And also, Sailor Scouts did lose to another team in their group already. So, yeah,
I've seen a few GMs around. Yeah, I've definitely seen a few GMs around. I would say the average is probably, I mean, if you were to create like a median, I would probably say somewhere around 3,100 probably, where you have, you know, a couple of people in silver, you have a couple of people in gold, but for the most part, I would say the majority are in diamond, and then of course you have people at the top end, a lot of, you know, high masters, and then a few GMs as well, just kind of scattered about. Typically some tanks, actually. I don't know if I've seen a DPS GM player. Maybe Borean was from 2 sets ago, but I'm not exactly sure about that. I can't.
Well, anyone can hold up a shield, right? I'm just kidding. I actually did the majority of my climbing when I hit my peak in 3,800 was D.Va. It was just 63% D.Va win rate or something like that. That was a few months ago when she was quite nutty with the old defense matrix. But these days I just play Pharah and forget it. I don't even care anymore. I just play Pharah because I have the most fun on it. But Serafsan here as a Pharah for the attacking team. Borealis. We still have Surly Sheep on Pharah on the other side. So very similar compositions. We actually have a Moira in play here as well for Fairly.
And he's going to be tasked with keeping these guys alive and also providing a little bit of damage as well. And oh, it looks like he's going to get caught out, so he's going to have to just get out of there. IDDQT with a huge kill off the mine there, as they're going to back them out. And look at their composition, actually. No hit scan, full just AoE pressure coming out from IDDQT and Surly Sheep on those projectiles. And that's going to be a lot of damage to deal with in a choke like this. But if they bring something else out, I mean, Saracen's is on that Pharah. If they deal with Surly Sheep, there's no one else to really do anything other than kind of, I guess, Annie on fire.
Wow, so fast. One direct rocket from Surly and a little bit of zapping from Taki takes down Saracen very quickly again, and it's a 65, so they cannot press forward. 1 minute already bled off the clock. That's about the time that it took the Sailor Scouts to take A in the previous round, so definitely have their work cut out for them. No ultimates to work with just yet. They just haven't done enough damage yet to the Sailor Scouts to build anything up.
Yeah, they've really been struggling, and Jaboy, actually, who was on the Zenyatta, is now on the Soldier trying to deal with Surly Sheep, but they just can't figure anything out here to try to do anything about this. Barrage comes down, does find the Mercy, also finishes off the Soldier, and that's the huge threat to the Pharah. Saracen's going to fire back, but, I mean, they're still holding this so aggressively. I think he's going to have time to come back.
Yeah, this is another spawn camp situation here. If you see Winston next to that yellow door, that's usually a bad sign for the attacking team, but IDDQT on the Junkrat very nearly has a tire ready to go. You've got both defensive ultimates available as well, so they can basically just sit back, wait for the attackers to come in, and there's no ult still generated over the first 2 minutes of play for the attacking team.
They're still trying to get it in and try to generate those ultimates so that they can actually have some kind of advantage to push forward with, but when you have all the support ready to go from Mixie and Quake, it's going to be tough even when they do get those ultimates online, which is going to be in probably about 30-40 seconds from now or so. It's going to be hard because they're not going to have anything to deal with.
There was a tiny bit of capture percentage there from Hellfrank getting into the point, but they're obviously going to respawn to that very quickly, and it's going to recede back to 0% as Hellfrank gets taken down. Saracen gets punched in midair. I think that was a melee kill actually in the skies there, and Baloo just returning to spawn, maybe trying to switch it up, or may just be waiting for his teammates to respawn. Here comes the Junkrat tire, and they have to retreat to the safety of spawn. They still lose somebody. Jaboy goes down, gets rezzed, has a tactical visor, and 1 more %. But I still don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. That's 3 minutes out of 4 already burned off.
I just don't see it happening. They take out Annie on fire out of the mech, but still Jaboy's going to be able to be taken out. I mean, now we do see Surly Sheep holding through and dishing out a ton of damage. That's going to be the barrage coming out. Ooh. Surly Sheep almost making it out, but not the case as Jaboy takes out the tac visor. This is an opportunity here, Joshy. Can they make it happen, though? It's going to be Primal Rage in the face of the tac visor, and that's going to be a swift kill from the Monkey.
Well, we've got some attackers on the point. Zenyatta nearly gets killed. Oh, there it is. One last hammer swing takes down Mixie, but Reinhardt is surrounded over here, so can't really expect him to get too much done as he does go down. Saracen very near the point, but again, anyone in that 1v4 situation is just going to get rushed down. D.Va does a good job there. Annie on fire, again, playing quite well. And only 10 seconds remain, so I think this one is another one in the books here for Sailor Scouts. One more D.Va explosion for the road. Does catch a kill on Jaboy.
Annie on fire is so consistent with those. I mean, looking back at the match that they had on Ilios, you saw the Mercy and the the other support, whether it be the Lucio or the Zenyatta, depending on what time the match was, finding those kills every single time that you saw Annie on fire throwing those out. So that's just continuing on throughout this group stage. I imagine we'll see that even more tomorrow, as well as we will very likely see them more in that championship bracket as well.
Man, only 3 cards awarded for that full match. That's a feels bad, man. But Annie on fire, 65% kill participation again. The Sailor Scouts taking a convincing win. Borealis again, unfortunately, getting spawn camped to oblivion. But that happens sometimes. This is just a cup, open registration.